This is Dee Dee, and Dee Dee decided to go on a cruise. On this cruise, she took her brother Travis and her sister-in-law Sarah, and they decided to go to Puerto Rico. They boarded the boat, and they sailed to Puerto Rico without ending up on a Netflix documentary. What should have started out as a time of sun and sand and selfies quickly deteriorated because Dee Dee was forced to look at this. And she said, well, I'm disgusted. I can find this on Skinamax. So she decided to leave them at the hotel and explore without them. Well, when the lovebirds came up for air, they scanned the street and found no Dee Dee, and that could have meant only one thing: human trafficking. So they leapt in the action as Sarah began to ugly cry right in the middle of the street, and Travis got on the phone and began to cosplay as Liam Neeson from Taken, all forgetting that Dee Dee is the type to absolutely cut a bitch. Everything was okay, though, as Dee Dee was at the bar having a drink, or two, or three, but Travis was still upset, and he said, Dee Dee, where were you? Why didn't you answer your phone? We were worried. And Dee Dee said last time she checked, she was a grown-ass woman. And also, in case he was one of those idiots who forgot during the Super Bowl, Puerto Rico was part of America, and that meant it was a free country, and she could do whatever the hell she wanted. Well, Travis pondered her words carefully, and he decided that his sister was absolutely correct, and perhaps he had acted in haste, and perhaps he should just leave her alone, because we all know that Dee Dee will cut a bitch. Sarah tried to quell the tension by taking a cute selfie, but Dee Dee was still distracted, probably trying to get the point across to her brother that it would be a cold day in hell before someone ruined her vacation. But the drinks began to flow, pina coladas and lots of mojitos, served by lovely bartenders who absolutely loved drunk Americans who kept telling them boring stories and how they were learning Spanish and always got drunk enough to overtip. But Travis was distracted by his phone, and Sarah could not get his attention, no matter how hard she tried. See, Travis had a secret. Before, when we all thought that he only went Liam Neeson, he had actually gone full Denzel from The Equalizer, and now he was sweating bullets, trying to cancel that black web contract he'd made with the assassin online, just to find his sister, because he had once again forgotten that Dee Dee will cut a bitch. Mojito after mojito began to pile up, and that, unfortunately, is where our story takes a very dark turn. Dee Dee became very sick. Now, upon seeing his sister in distress, Travis did the one thing that any man would have done in his situation. However, Sarah stood by to offer all her moral support. As per usual, Sarah's razor-sharp nursing skills were on point, as Dee Dee indeed felt better after her vomit. And I bet you think they all jumped back on the boat and sailed off into the sunset to a happy ending. But that is not what happened. You see, Sarah was so amazed at Dee Dee's bladder control skills that she had gone completely limp. And Dee Dee and Travis had to carry her back to the boat like a dead Tinkerbell out of fairy dust. And when they got back to the boat, it was discovered that Sarah did not have her key card to get back to the boat. And she told the poor confused security guard that it wasn't her fault. You see, Dee Dee had vomited, and Dee Dee had not peed when she vomited. And this was the most amazing thing that Sarah had ever seen in her life. So it wasn't her fault that she didn't have a key card. Don't you understand? Dee Dee had vomited so hard that she flapped her legs, but she hadn't vomited. Didn't you understand? It was the most amazing thing she'd ever seen. And if it had been Sarah, she would have pissed all over herself. Don't you understand? It's not her fault she didn't have the key. And this poor man eventually just let these 3 people back on board, probably because he felt very sorry for her husband Travis, and even more so because Dee Dee definitely looked like the type that would cut a bitch. So the 3 embarked back on the boat to the US, and that is the end of our story. But what have we learned on our cruise? Well, to answer Sarah's query, the Mayo Clinic states on its website that to prevent the leakage of urine while heavy straining, one must have extremely strong pelvic floor muscles. What this tells us about Dee Dee is her pelvic floor must have been installed by Empire.